When people talk about reality, they usually say there's a line that separates the real from the unreal. For me, that line is the underground cross-country subway line. The line, coast to coast, border to border. The subway line that was America's plumbing. A seemingly endless tract of tunnels figurating over themselves deep under the earth. The line. I've spent enough miles on the line to reach the moon and back. I've ridden and rewritten it over and over and over. But it's constantly changing with each pass. Morphing into something strange and new after every curve. Each new detail drawn in chalk like a cracked tally in a wasted mind. This really is the underbelly. An intricate system of ribbed tunnels leading further into digestion. Feeding off man's hate. Living on his inabilities. His fears. Run-down catacombs in hell's deteriorating stomach line. Oil and mud-slick veins pumping away the waste from point A to point B. People, humans, they were the vitamins, and they used to flow daily. Used to. You could see it in their fake, shiny faces. Not knowing that it was they who kept the line healthy, alive, safe from the multiplying viruses roaming the small and large intestines. How long has it been? Too long. How long have I been down here? Not long enough. Entwined in the entrails of people. 6 years. Blink. 5. Sweat. 7. I figure the longer I'm down here, the closer I am. Closer to him. Closer to it. That's how it happens. You get closer and closer. Then before you know it, you hit the wall. Where the hell am I? Revenge is a dish best served cold. Ohio. That's what people said. I just want revenge. Out or cold. Utah? Utah? I know I'm not ready. It's okay. Nothing can prepare me. Maine? Death is like birth. It just happens. That's alright, I guess. Minnesota? Sometimes I think I've always been here. Strange what the line will do to you. When did I sleep last? Would it make sense if I knew what I meant? Ohio? Would that change things? No. I don't know. Nobody knows. Not when they're sleeping. Sometimes these tunnels feel like sleep. A cold, deep sleep. Something only the dead could relate to. The line will do that to you. The line wasn't always a tomb, the brainchild of a spoiled child without a brain. Some rich fat cat. There's always one of them. The underground cross-country subway, aka the CC subway line, aka the CC line, aka the line. Fast, easy, expensive, profits. Great idea, right? It opened in the 70s, just as we were told the war was ending. Something to occupy the minds of a torn population. Plenty of jobs. Drivers, technicians, maintenance, custodians, tickets, unlimited opportunities. Politicians were there to see what it could mean for their campaigns. Anyone who was against the line was behind in the times. The future sounded great. The big picture is a large circle. You end up where you started. Lost. It did look nice once. Shiny interiors, clean floors, large advert posters with pictures of models laughing. Did they get the joke too? Security squads, the futuristic sounds of high-tech computers, bells and chimes. Once when I was young, I was at one of the station openings, somewhere in the Midwest. With all the excitement and fear, you'd think the Gestapo had taken over Disneyland. Vendors, suits, carnival rides, elephant ears, earpieces, games, secret conversations, concealed weapons, petting zoo. Some things occupy the minds of a war-torn population. You said that. But did they hear me? The line started with one route, New York to LA. Simple enough, right? I'm sure some naive fool somewhere thought they'd stop after that. How little they knew. The carts all ran on electricity that came from the rails. The electricity provided by the city as the carts passed under. Most cities got unnecessary kickbacks. In the end, the taxpayers got most of the bill. They most always do. Each train cart had a generator. The generators picked up more than enough slack between the bigger cities. By 1980, anything considering itself a city had a CC subway stop. Nearly 100 across the country. Tunnels were being built and worked on daily during the line's entire run. They had more tracks than they knew what to do with. In time, the routes ran along all the continental borders. Electric barbed wire, keeping something out or holding something in. Either way, we were all trapped in the spiraling metal circles of America's ill-fated gaze. God save the bitch. Rumors of all kinds and types, shapes and sizes, started circulating even before the construction. An underground, nationwide tunnel system stretching the borders of America. Nobody could believe there weren't ulterior motives. The stories ranged from plausible to downright absurd. I could see a little truth in all of them. Workers disappearing, phantom trains, ghost tunnels, wormholes, army, government, conspiracy, gossip, stories, myths, words. Just words. Funny how fast things change. I'm still laughing. Inside. After years of running relatively smooth, there was an incident outside of Philadelphia. A tunnel caved in, trapped, alone, but together. Can you imagine? I try not to. People piss me off. Best not to think of being trapped with them down here. Together, but alone. What the hell is wrong with us? Hell. 1 train, 3 carts, 190 people, 63 days, trapped. No food, no water, no sun. 34 survived. Cannibalism. Scary. That was my first year. It was a good learning experience. Not my cart, though we were there for rescue. We all were there. Arrived with a bad taste in my mouth. Bile dripping from the overfed walls. Ground shaking in the growing hunger of a dark, unknown secret. Parable lost amongst the altar of bones and blood-spewed cave drawings. Crude weapons and unforgettable stench. Archaic. The smell. I think it was always there. We just didn't notice until then. Survivors were crazed. Homo unsapien. Reports read like excerpts from Dante's Inferno. None of the stories coincided, but they all had the same evil. Victims were listed as casualties, not humans. Numbers, not people. Rich or poor, death's hand carries us all beyond the great further. Headlines read like, America in danger, subway unsafe. It sold papers. Nobody cared if it was true. Further down, the spoiled gut rot. In the midst of the turmoil, the rich fat cat died. Heart attack. Old age, or victim of his own hideous output. Left enormous debts. Mountains of debt. Everyone played dumb. I say played because I didn't know them, though most of them were bankers. Investors fled. The worst elements are always first to explode from an upset belly. Bad meals aplenty in times of fear and doubt. Food absorbs apathy. Rats leaving the sunken ship. People stand around the corpse wishing they could do something, silently hoping their wishes go unfulfilled because their daily routines would be disrupted. Money stopped. People stopped. Stations closed. November 1986. The brainchild is dead. A pair of high tops hangs from a telephone wire. Dreams die. Trains stop. I can't stop. I have my reasons. Good reasons. I can't stop. I won't. Too many screams echoing down the hollow plumbing. The line drawn closed. Electricity in the rails never stopped. It had been built too deep into each city's power grid. The higher-ups and taxpayers alike figured, nobody's down there. It'd be cheaper to just forget the whole thing. Turn off the lights. No one will know. I'm down here. Forgetting is what humans do best. Generator in the back of the cart picks up the slack. You already said that. Sometimes I pretend I'm sailing, electrical currents taking me where they will. The map the railway gave me when I started no longer serves purpose. There are lines written over by my own like layers of paint on a canvas. Color by number, pick a number, any number. Little matters now. 100 straight routes quickly turned into thousands of shortcuts, secret tunnels, hidden passages, army storage, more than you'd think. Partially built paths, ventilation shafts, air ducts, service exits, fire escapes, even a few bomb shelters. A line for each vein in your bloodshot eyes. Plenty of food and other supplies by way of army rations and vending machine stock rooms. Enough preservatives to raise a smile on King Tut's mummified face. This place. An underground ghost town. Think tumbleweeds and distant harmonicas. Think outdated newspapers filled with talk of impending doom. Think Twinkies and cockroaches, zombies and green skies, sickness and sadness, till death do us part. Maintenance is easy enough. There's plenty of extra carts for spare parts. Time. Nothing but time. There's lots of exercise in clearing track of debris. I-beams, L-beams, tubes, pipes, tiles, panels, broken tracks, cart pieces, subway bones. Hold your breath. Graveyard. Sparks fly. The longer I'm down here, the more the graffiti looks like hieroglyphics. The sparks, they often seem to float. They never come down, never wear away. They're not cryptic, just ancient, like a Rosetta Stone. I'm also a tracker too, of sorts. Always look for the fresh paint, the dripping, his paint. I know he's dead, but I also know he's alive. It's the paint, the stomping ground. I think I did it because he did it, or maybe he did it because I did it. And that's how it was. He was my friend, and that's how we were. He is my friend. His dream became mine, and if he had his way, the whole world would know our names. Confused? You look confused. Maybe that's my fault. The finger was pointed a long time ago, a couple million miles back. I guess sometimes you have to backtrack to pick up pace. Makes sense, right? My mother got pregnant. My father left. Mother died in a car accident before I was old enough to carry memories of her. I don't remember being born. Sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. I imagine her words. No other family to raise me. Nobody to need or want me. It plays hell on one's self-esteem, but the trick is to not let it get you down. Not too much anyway. You have to be realistic, thick-skinned. At the orphanage, the name Les seemed to stick more than any other. How they hated. Mother, less. Father, less. Home, less. Hope, less. The echo of chanting children is still making its rounds in the open space of my deepest thoughts. I believed them. I had little else going on. That was when I met Mark. First time I saw him was through my own blood and tears. The other kids' punches still fresh in my face and fresh on their knuckles. He was tall, skinny, a punk even if I didn't know what one was. That was something he never outgrew. Stubborn. Maybe he just liked it that way. Past tense. I know his punches hurt them more than their punches hurt me. There's more power in compassion than in hate. I might have read that somewhere. In an orphanage, it means the world when someone cares, even if they show it with a fist. An abusive dad is still a dad, that sort of thing. He hits me, but he still loves me. I sat on the ground crying. After chasing off the tormentors, Mark sat next to me. After the fight happened, no one talked to us. Les and Mark. Fine. We didn't want to talk to them. We didn't even talk to each other at first. Just odd looks. Words were spoken in time. We had one main thing in common. The walls weren't big enough. They never would be. A metaphor if ever there was one. After a brief stint, we decided the orphanage wasn't the best place for us. We wanted more. We needed more. Maybe we needed each other and the thought of being adopted and separated was too much. Either way, we were too far gone before anyone really noticed. The tracks carrying us away from the supposed home. Off on our own, we lived how we could. That meant we traveled. On foot at first. We never lost our cool. We always took the train, and the cool just had a way of always catching up with us. That's what it's like to be young. The trains were appealing to us even then. Maybe because they seemed to go on forever, or knowing we could jump off anytime we wanted, or head into some new land with each passing cart. You don't notice these things at first, but then something happens and you look back and think about how it got that way. We went everywhere we could, and some places you couldn't. Learned a few things about the train cards, and even made a few dollars helping with maintenance. Nothing official. Beats stealing and getting chased off with a stick or worse. Busted. Traveling state to state like we did, you sort of fall in with the pulse of the country. You begin to feel what's going on underneath the surface. The people, the culture, it's in them. If you watch them long enough, you can almost predict what'll happen next. We saw a change coming little by little. It wasn't that obvious though. It started in the ghettos and began trickling down into the bloodstream of America. Some say it dates back to cavemen and their drawings on cave walls. Guess that's when a lot of things started. Too romantic for me. This change didn't happen overnight, and it might have started with only a few people, but once the seed was planted, what would grow would have a worldwide effect. We saw the signs, we heard the names, and we began calling it graffiti. I am not a history teacher. Well, maybe in some form, but I can't tell you names and dates of when it all started. I can only tell you what we saw, Mark and I. Painting a name or a message on a public wall as a sign of unrest seemed natural, obvious. The idea of defacing the old and starting new, or just showing rebellion, Too much war does that to people. Mark and I first started seeing small graffiti tags in the inner cities, mostly the big ones, behind diners, above dumpsters, on the sides of cars. Without knowing or saying it, you felt as if a superhero had come through town, done a good deed, and left, but not before scribbling a message for the city folk to see. Cave drawings, symbols, scribbles really. Didn't seem like people could have done them that bad. Cavemen weren't really that dumb. Soon we were seeing tags with more than one can of paint, multiple colors, different tips for spray control allowing for thicker lines or finer details, drips, bubble letters. Doesn't seem that special, does it? Maybe not in the future you live in. Back then it was unheard of. Progression sets in slowly. It all finally seemed to come together one night when Mark and I were wandering through buildings, looking for places to sleep, the next train not passing through for a day. In the darkness of one of the rooms, a paint can dropped against the ground, stopping our conversation. A child's footsteps carried off into the unknown. We joked and laughed to ourselves as we walked to where the kid was standing. That's when we saw it. What this kid had been tagging on a wall. The kid's brother had been shot and killed in that very room. And his younger brother had put up a crude mural tag for his older brother. No jokes, no laughing. We just stared at that wall. I swear I saw Mark shed a few tears, his eyes watery. That train could have smashed through the wall and we wouldn't have noticed. This moment was sealed. Something had settled in our minds. The implications that graffiti had now seemed out in the open. We wanted to be remembered. I remember. We now knew the power of written words, or even a single word. It seemed rugged, ruthless, like it didn't belong. Like us. On the side of a bus it seemed to defy authority. Sure, it had other attractions to it. The thrill of tagging dangerous spots, pride, artistic freedom. It might just be names or words spewed in cheap paint on clean walls, but they were our names, our words. Mark did it because I did it. I did it because Mark did it. We practiced too much for naturals. Wink. Our names, question mark, and brainless. Maybe you've seen our work. Maybe you will later. Soon we would find out that graffiti was part of a cultural community consisting of what you'd call hip-hop music and breakdancing. I'm sure they're still around above ground. We rode that cultural train through a lot of house parties, block parties, concerts, shows, ladies, refrigerators, freestyles, beds with pillows and blankets. Motto, never steal what you won't eat right there, and keep a distance. Maybe those people were friends, or maybe they were just people we grew up with. Maybe they were slumming. Everyone had fun, so it doesn't matter. Maybe we were slumming. Unsure. Best spots to tag are always the most dangerous, because they get the most notice. Security guards, cops, water towers, creaky ladders, cars, buses, attack dogs, third rails, dealers, barbed wire, hobos, fences, freaks, dark clothes, plain clothes, undercover, and in your face. These are dangers. Very real, some of them. Trains were obvious targets. Big silver billboards with our names on them like globetrotting marquees. A roaming calling card. Advertising in a can. This is where the cross-country subway line came into our plan. Just a few stops away from letting the world know who we were. Until then, Mark and I didn't even bother with the CC line. None of the graph writers did. Maybe someone would put up something in one of the stations, or go down trying, but they kept the damn thing so clean. They would repaint the walls before the tag was dry. And what would they replace it with? Plain white or gray walls. Sign of the corporate mentality. Keep it simple. Dumb. Graffiti is part of the crime element. That was the mentality. Probably still is. Dumb. Stupid simple. The CC line was underground, so not that many people would even see a tag in the tunnels. Not at those speeds. Compare that to the dangers of traveling in some underground tunnel. The line was viewed as the rich man's land shuttle, so even if you put up a tag, it would only be seen in the peripheral of some bigwig holding his briefcase to his face so he can read the watch on his wrist when there's a clock right in front of him. Nobody has any vision anymore. Blind leading the blind. The captain's cart was the only one with windows. Snake eyes. In short, the line was fast, secure, with all the up-to-date fixins, and it was underground. Nobody saw it, and it didn't see anything. Mark, being a genius con man in his own right, was the one with all the right ideas. Hey Les, you should get a job at the CC line, man. Imagine my response for a moment. Well, come on, hear me out. We could shoot like a bullet all over the country. We could tag a subway in Brooklyn, and then tag 6 buses in LA before the paint dried in New York. I was young once, naive, and he was serious. He also made a very good point considering our situation. No more hassles as far as drifting on trains and finding new places to sleep. As for the job, it had to be me. Mark was a victim to his own rap sheet, or so he said whenever it convenienced him. Mark had a few different run-ins with the law. Minor thefts, pickpocketing, graffiti supplies. Hardware stores had pictures of his face reading, "Beware." Mark was just one of those kids who seemed to want to get caught. I never got caught. I was miles away, never wasting the time to look back at whoever was chasing me. Any priors in the line people won't even look at you. Dirty hands and a clean nose got me an interview. The interview was short, stupid simple. Name? Les. Truth. Read? Yes. Truth. Write? Yes. Truth. Diploma? Yes. Lie. Can you start tomorrow? Yes. Truth. 2 classes and a week-long trip around the country shadowing another driver. Mark waited in a freezing cold bus stop in Denver. He never said what he did that week, just that it was cold. I think something got added to his rap sheet. Anyway, I had a job now. Mark was notably more excited than me. I worked. He sat and read maps, plotting spots to tag. I tried to show him the job so we could switch on and off. He'd say it was my job, and was best left to a professional. After all, I had taken the classes. Good times, for a while. Cities came and went by the hours. So did the cans of paint. Sleepless nights, parties, lots of people. Good times indeed. We were explorers. The culture of the country was there to soak in. We just followed the routes and the subway tracks, and they led us straight into our wildest dreams. Mingling with the natives and absorbing what we could, we laid out our angst and freedom in tags across America. We should have known the times wouldn't last. Maybe Mark knew. Maybe I did too. Maybe it was obvious what was happening. Anyway, like I said, rumors date back to early on in the construction of the line. Ghost stories, tall tales, gossip, locker room chatter, backyard banter, jokes, puns. Someone's brother fell into wet concrete and was buried alive in one of the walls. Someone's friend from childhood vanished in a tunnel never to be seen again. Boy Scouts, hobos, sacred burial grounds, spirits, boogeymen, guards carried off by ghost trains, screams echoing down the tunnels. I think Mark and I heard them all, but this country has a wild imagination. Never pay too much attention. Costly. We weren't the storytellers, but maybe, if we had paid more attention, we might have seen the tracks slowly spinning out of sync. I still remember Philadelphia like it was the back of my hand. The cave-in I mentioned before. I can still smell it. Wasn't my cart. Mark and I had just gotten there as the last victims were being hauled away, some in pieces. We heard that they were the sanest. Says a lot about the others. Torn clothes, wide-eyed babbling, smell of blood. My God, the smell. The tunnels acting as nostrils, our lungs filling with the putrid stench. The main cart, or only surviving cart, was where the trapped passengers gathered for warmth. It looked like a tin can that had been clawed open, torn apart at the sides, spilling the smells of rancid flesh. The screams still echo. Death lingers. It wasn't just the blood, it was everything. Still is. I know I mentioned an altar of bones. Crude stackings of bones. Like one might stack chicken wings at some gin joint. There's a sense of pride to it. Not something just to be mentioned. Should be talked about, and loudly. Studied. Why? Something built for a god or a demon. The evil seeming reminiscent of both. Whose hate is stronger? What possesses us? How do we live as they won't or wouldn't? No one is spared, not even the dead. We're all infected to the fucking marrow. Debris on the track caused the cart to stop, a common problem both then and now. The conductor got out to check the problem. He didn't come back. Several minutes, not a peep. Next person goes, doesn't come back. Shortly after, the survivors say they heard what sounded like two small explosions, one at the front of the cart, the other in the back. Shadows were moving. The tunnel was collapsing around them, sealing their fate. The train was trapped, walled in. 63 days, 190 people, down to 188 people, crammed into one cart. No food, no water, no medicine. I saw shoes that had been half-eaten, human teeth marks. Stories from survivors said each person was individually picked off for a slow death by an unknown evil. While they tried to get out, something tried to get in. The trouble was bigger than the size of the tunnel. Tunnel was too small for a creature of this size to maneuver in. Imagine the aggravation of such a beast. Repeat. Few survived. Wide-eyed babbling. The survivors claimed they were spared. Mark disagreed. I stayed gray. The whole thing was confusing. The bigwigs called it stress and hysteria. No big deal. The cause of all this was still unknown. Speculators and big game hunters say it was a trap, Well planned, but poorly executed. Papers said what they wanted to. Each had their own truth. Each was probably right. There's a first time for everything. It's hard to shake those sights. One doesn't forget so easily. I remember that I am one. Mark and I didn't collaborate on conspiracy theories. Our Cub Scout troop wasn't like that. We didn't speculate. We did the exact opposite. Nothing. It was only a few hours before the tracks were open, and our cart was clear to leave and resume normal procedures. Business as usual. For a while, nothing was said between me and Mark about the incident. The next thing we said was about food or something about tagging. Nothing serious. There had been too much of that. The Philly cave-in was the first domino. You know now, but we didn't then. Typical. Those closest to the fire are the last to know how hot it is. Several weeks later near St. Louis, while Mark was sleeping, I spotted something on the tracks ahead of me. I slowed the car down enough to idle behind it. It was moving. Slow, but it was moving. It was a man. Where were his clothes? I shook Mark awake next to me. His eyes opened, and through the cart's windshield, only a few feet away from us, a man was running in front of the train. His flesh bloody, torn. He didn't even look back at us. Claw marks ran down his back. He just kept running. He was crazy. Not normal crazy, though. Mark ran ahead of him and got him to stop. He agreed to ride in the front of the cart when we told him it would be faster than running. He mumbled it didn't matter, but got in anyway. He knew who we were. He knew we were human. He was terrified, wide-eyed, babbling. We radioed ahead. We were worried, but at the same time we wanted to get the hell away from this guy. At the station, the FBI was waiting. Big questions, and even more crazed babbling. Somebody said he escaped the Philly cave-in, running for his life, never stopping. Made sense. Someone said he was an old tunnel worker that disappeared years before. Made sense. This place had a way of making sense. Another time we had to stop to clear an old 50s car off the track. Mangled. Looked like one of those cars at a junkyard that gets smashed into a ball. How it got down there is anybody's guess. After we rolled it off the track, we saw them immediately. Long engraved lines stretching what looked like miles into the darkness. They were just above head height. Out of reach. Mark swears there were claw marks. Made sense. They had to be 6 or 7 inches deep into the solid concrete. A lot of rage there. An omen. Signs. Mark and I kept on. We weren't scared. We didn't know we should have been. We didn't know just how close we were. Soon after, almost in a time sink of some sort, like falling dominoes, we pulled into Dallas. It was around 3:30 a.m. Early as always. Always made good time. We pulled into the station, the usual hisses and spurts from the cart. Mark was the first to get out. The cart hadn't fully stopped yet. He stretched in a full body yawn. A few passengers got off. This was a light haul. Not many cattle. A couple of little kids ran along the aisles. Some businessmen stretched their legs. Everyone else just slept. I wish I could sleep. No signs of trouble. None. I don't think I even smelled it. Maybe the cave-in in Philly had damaged my nasal cavity, masking the scent. No signs of trouble. You said that. Nothing brewing except a few pots of coffee. That dripping noise. I don't think I could even smell the coffee. Funny how you really don't smell until it's pie or fire. I stayed in the cart. I usually did the cleaning. Of course he'd say, "It's your job." Nothing bad. Coffee cups, food wrappers, markers, newspapers, party flyers, catalogs, magazines, paint cans, tips, rejected tags. Mark bought souvenirs at every city. Not snow globes, but little trinket stuff. Scattered. Always. Then, it happened. The first tremor. A loud and deep, thunderous roar belted out from somewhere close. Hunger. It felt like my heart had made a deep swallow, and the air galloped down my spine. My head raised instantly, looking out the front windshield. Mark, unbothered, was in the middle of yet another full-body yawn stretch. Was it me? Hindsight. Was it nothing? It had to have been real. Possible. Didn't make sense. I didn't shake it off. I just kind of dropped my head back down to cleaning. Maybe it was nothing, but how can an it also be a nothing? Short answer, it can't. It wasn't it. These are not thoughts made by a rational being. This is all hindsight. I reached for an empty pop can behind one of the seats. Slowly, it rolled away from my hand, then stopped. My heart stopped. Everything stopped. Stop. Heartbeat. The calm. Sweat. Cold. There was this plunging feeling inside me. Stop. Like a sickness or something had just all of a sudden settled in. Breathe. It was like a train falling. Just like a train. The small, tiny tremor shaking the ground. Heartbeat. My hands shaking. Cold. My hands still shaking. Sweat. Butterflies. Heartbeat. The empty pop can rolled back toward my hand. Slowly, it makes contact with my skin. Sweat falls and shatters. Cold. I look. Slowly. Again, I looked out of the windshield. Mark was just in front of the cart on the driver's side. He was spraying a wall of the tunnel. He stopped. His whole being paused. His can stopped hissing. Cold. He looked back at me, confused. Do you hear that? The words barely escaped his lips. The wall in front of Mark exploded open, bursting out like it had been hit by a wrecking ball. It was a hand, a claw, a single, large, scaly hand, more than 4 times the size of my best friend. It grabbed him and pulled him away. The hand. The rubble hadn't even settled before my friend was gone. His last words hanging briefly in a cloud of cold air before fading away completely. I couldn't read his face. He was gone. He didn't scream. There was no yelling or cursing at God. It happened in a flash. Seconds. I didn't know what to do. Tick. I had no way of comprehending what had happened. Tock. I was fixated. Tick. My eyes caught the stare. 1,000-mile stare. Tock. Out there. Far out there. Tick. Wide-eyed. No babbling. Tock. My eyes watered like a puppy. I didn't know, but I knew. I knew, but I didn't know. Gut feeling. The plummeting. I got up and ran to the hole that ate my friend. I didn't hear anything. The crash still echoing. No scream. I know what I saw because I know Mark saw it too. There was nothing here. Just a hole. A black hole that sucked away a part of me. Maybe all of me. A hole that could have fit 2 subway carts through it. Such force. How much does it take to explode through these walls? I don't think dynamite could do it. Not without taking everything down in the blast. What kind of madness and power can send the foundations of America into an uproar while still keeping it intact? Clouds are closing together. The darkening. My cart couldn't do it. I don't think. I can't. A plane probably wouldn't even be able to crash through these walls. The ground was still tremoring. I heard that empty pop can rolling around the floor of the cart. My eyes had never been more open. I had never been more awake. Then, I heard a voice. Hey kid, what in the hell is going on down there? Kid. Not kids. I missed him already. Mark. My friend. I heard the voice. I heard him loud and clear, but I didn't move. I couldn't. Frozen. I could only stare into the hollow black abyss. I remember when I was little, at the orphanage, hearing about how the bottom of the ocean was black, how it wouldn't let light through, how all the ugly creatures dwelled in the deep, dark, cold. My eyes sucked further into nothing. But how can nothing be something? You said something like that already, but you didn't answer me. A bony hand grabbed my shoulder. A flashlight lit the side of my face. You damn kids think these tunnels are playgrounds, don't ya? Station guard. Some old guy. I didn't need to see him to know who he was. I just got up as fast as I could and darted past him. I couldn't breathe. Panic. I needed air. Gasping. Breathe. Hey kid! The guard didn't give chase. Instead, his eyes were trapped, staring into the dark of the gaping concrete wound. I heard him talking to himself, amazed at the size of what had happened. What the hell were you doing down here? The darkness snarled back at him, like a bull ready to stampede, breathing, heavy. I stopped. My eyes widened. I couldn't leave that guard down there. I swung around, but again I was paralyzed. I tried with everything in me, but I couldn't move. It was like the lights above danced slowly before focusing on the guard and the hole in the tunnel wall. The guard was staring deep into it, hypnotic. He was only a few feet away from it when, what the hell is... A bulbous gut rumble stirred from within, and in an instant, the same scaly hand reached out and stole yet another life before my eyes. Not even a full second. A killer always returns to the scene of a crime. The guard's flashlight fell to the ground, smashing against the tracks. Always. Not a scream. Not a word, not a cry, just gone. It happened. Panic, heartbeat, couldn't breathe, gasping. I fled up the station stairs. I ran as fast as I could, eventually bursting out into the open, blinding sun and collapsing into a pile of my own nightmarish memories. I don't remember seeing any people or street signs before I passed out. Just a hot, blinding light. The sun was as big as the sky itself. The lights danced in my head. I felt nothing. I knew nothing. I was nothing. Things don't really change. Leaping. They just slowly adapt, spinning, evolution. I fell, and I fell hard, but I did wake up. I think I'm awake. It doesn't matter. I woke up in an angry craze. Little matters now. An insane, death-drunk stupor. All these cities are the same. Nobody helps the crazy guy passed out on the ground. That was before I woke. Now, wide-eyed. Babbling about a demon hand was probably too much. Too intense. The truth hurts. The ones who I got to believe me enough to go down into the subway might have been pitying me. I'll take what I can get. I showed him the hole. Anything could have made that. They'd say, what the hell were you kids doing down here anyway? Anything is a something that which cannot be a nothing. So I asked them, what made that fucking hole? Crazed, wide-eyed yelling. Cops get called. Nobody believes. Cops, newspapers, bosses, television reporters, co-workers. The goddamn tabloids laugh at me. Said it sold a lot of papers last decade, but was stale. wasn't news. I should have known. They were right. It wasn't news. This was real. James Rogard. That was the guard's name. They had files on him, but nobody seemed to remember him. Just another passing face. A ghost of the line. No wife, no kids, no family. Retired accountant, 65. No real friends, no real hobbies. He was the only clue I had to finding Mark. The only thing keeping me going. Making me believe that this was all real. That Mark was real. Evil was running loose in America's underbelly. Roaming freely. Killing randomly. When the story was just me and Mark, it was different. Nobody could say what did or didn't happen, 'cause only we were there. Nobody got hurt, and for the most part, we went unnoticed. Not this time. Mark got hurt. James Rogard got hurt. I got hurt. With no connections, James might have fit in with Mark and I. Family barbecues, wide-eyed babbling. Everybody had an excuse as to what happened to James. He was in the witness protection program, mafia killing, skip town, vacation, paid leave, sick relative, dying father, girls, girls, girls. I admit that Snatched by Demon Hand seems the oddball of the bunch, but it was true, and even without a band or a singer, the words would play on long after the music was over. I stole the guard's picture from the company's files, made missing posters. Posters went missing. Human life posted over by missing cats and used cars. Still got a few stacks of posters. The search never amounted to anything. That was all then. That is the story so far. Now we are in the present. Mark and James are both missing. I know they're out there. And somewhere way, way out there, I know there is an it. A demon. It hides under America's floorboards. You might believe me. I keep going. The search continues, and the end seems to trail off like clouds from a train, floating in the mountains of cold black space. After Mark was taken, options were limited. What could I do now? No visible future. I was shaken, bad, but the line had a psychiatrist. Actually, a couple of them. Actually, a lot of them. Almost too many, but I guess being underground tends to do things to people. Too close to the grave. She deemed me suitable for work, responsible for the lives of ultimately thousands of people. My supervisor said to keep the Demon Hand story to myself. I did. Most everyone in the company knew anyway. Oh, I raised hell about Mark and Mr. Rogard, but there's nothing you can do. Nobody believed me, and that was it. As for the search for my friends, the supervisor said to deal with those types of things on my own time. I did. I flew in, through, down, past, and out of every tunnel shortcut at top speed, shaving seconds off arrival times just to get a spare minute to further my search. The hunt. It never seems to end. We never seem to stop. Days faded into nights without notice. Leaves fell above me. Still, there was no sign of anything. No signs, no clues, no evidence, no demons, no friends. Just the graffiti. The more things change, the more... save it. The graffiti stuck out like sore thumbs. There seemed to be something familiar in all of them. Tags like pins in a dead cat, marking out vital organs for the first-year med students. Beginners. All of us. To hell with the rest of them. Even with what I knew of the trains and the tunnels and the stories, I was still in way over my head. Still am. But I'm the best man for the job. Always was. How the mighty have fallen. An expert in my field. That's how things went for a while. Over my head. Way over my head. I was forced to grow up. Forced into being a man on a mission instead of a kid on the street. Diamond in the rough. Maybe not a diamond, but point made. The hand incident, as it became known in secret, wasn't publicized like the Philly cave-in. Note the capitalization. A public secret. It didn't make any papers or anything, but word spread fast. Faster than normal words. The underground tunnel system was a vast community of chatty Cathys, spreading America's secrets, airing the laundry, just the dirty bits. It wasn't much, but I think it was enough to drive the final nail into the CC line's coffin. The line was officially closed. Dead. I don't remember the year. I didn't care about things back then. I only wanted my old life back. When did the line close? How long have I been down here? Sometime in the late 80s, I think. Anyway, the line closed. A sign of fat cat power, not just a testament to their undying decay. Their disease, not ours. The rot. Carelessness. Some call it cancer. Others call it growth. No bang, no fat ladies, no rally caps. Just closed. The long parades forgotten by an upside-down people. Chains and wood boards keeping out the riffraff. How little they knew. I was already in. Locked in. To the marrow. I was under America's skin. My target. My it. My something. My nothing. My God. He knew I was coming. He knows. But knowing is half the battle. I was in Memphis when the big close happened. There were no vendors, no suits, no carnival rides, no elephant ears, no earpieces, no games, no goddamn petting zoo. They just walked out the employees, probably to make sure we didn't steal the pens or souvenirs, or whatever people steal from their mindless jobs. Single file. We did anyway. Gates closed behind us. Chains clanking bars. The locks clicked shut. My job wasn't done. I hadn't found Mark, and I hadn't found James the guard. And I hadn't found the it. Whatever it was. Down the street a few blocks was a storage locker for the street cleaning crews. Ventilation shafts. Sounds easy, but it was quite ingenious. A tight squeeze and a 100-yard crawl almost touching live electrical wires, and we were back on the line. Back on the hunt. Injected. I half expected to see skeletons along the way. Everything was the same as before, only now it was dark. Same station, same tunnels. I was alone. They had corralled all the carts together. Scraps for later. Organ donors. Everything seemed scarier in the dark. The things you didn't notice before. Senses are heightened. The drips. Sense of hearing. The dripping. Always. No matter where you are, the drips follow. Sense of sight. Fat dripping, thick bubbly plops. Sense of touch. The puddles. Sense of smell. Every crevice overstuffed with foul-smelling glandular fluid. No matter where you go. The sixth sense. Rodents. Pitter-pattering little feet. Claws. Some of them gallop. That's how big they are. Beastly. Glowing eyes, prisms of hunger beaconing from the dark. They're watching, hoping I fall on the third rail. They've probably never had a home-cooked meal. Maybe that's why there's no skeletons down here. Teeth marks to the marrow. I can relate. The wildlife isn't scared. They just sit and watch. I walked to the trains and the eyes followed, glittering like dew in a spider's web. I had a pet spider once. I spotted my cart wedged between a few others by the landscaper's shed at the orphanage. I moved a few other carts. Sometimes that meant renovating a wall or two. They can take it out of my check. I was alone, but soon I had my old cart. I felt a little more comfortable. Not at home, but close. Generators were still juiced. The front lights blazed on and sent half the zoo galloping down the corridors. They might have gone to get reinforcements. Who knows? Where do they get their food from? No skeletons. Some of the dripping noises might just be from salivating mouths, tongues lapping lips. I didn't stay to find out. Cart ready, path cleared. I lifted the anchor and floated off into the steel sea that I'd sailed 1,000,000 times before. Like riding a bicycle, if I'd learned to ride one. This time, alone, and I knew I would be for some time. As long as I'm searching, I will find what is waiting for me. The eyes watched me leave, and they hoped and prayed I would never discover what I was looking for. Don't worry, I came prepared. I had the company's maps, my maps, more of mine than theirs, stocked food that I bought with money I saved, mostly canned food. I even made a little grill. Don't ask what I grilled. Water jugs and a few other things. I didn't have to paint anymore, but I kept some cans in the back. The rest I picked up as I went. Army storage tunnels were stocked with blankets and rations. Some of the older, forgotten ones carried small arsenals. Automatic, fully automatic, semi-automatic. I only took what I needed. No overkill. I'm not G.I. Joe. Just a few grenades, couple pistols, carbines and rifles not necessary. Maybe one for luck. Armageddon wasn't here yet. Not yet. The guns were mostly for the wildlife roaming around. I don't think they would stand a chance against the demon, the it. For it, we will need something bigger. You'll know it when you see it. I'll know it when I see it. I think you already said that. I've said a lot of things. So you did. So you did. Arm itches. Plenty of A, B, and C rations. Instant meals, space food, canned fruit, canned vegetables. Not bad tasting. Not good either. No time for seconds. No desire for seconds. At first I didn't like the camouflage of military digs. I'm no hippie, and I'm no fan of armies and wars, but free is free. Take what you can, or take what you can hold in 2 arms. As for the camouflage, there was plenty of it. Shirts, pants, socks, boxers, sweaters, gloves. The eyes are watching. The camouflage really didn't hide me. I'd blend in with a group of trees or bushes maybe, but I don't know how it's gonna work down here. I'm warm and I'm comfortable, so fuck it. Fat cats and bigwigs must have thought the line would never close. The electrical wiring was so ingrained that the tracks were never properly shut off. On paper, they're off, but you can tell that to the rat I just fried. The generator and back will pick up the rest. You already said, oh, forget it. Forgotten. Shake your head. In short, I go where I want, when I want. The more things change, you know the rest. Rest. Tired. You're breathing heavy. I should exercise more. The silence is overwhelming. A couple laps now and then. Like being in space. A slow jog around the block. Walk the dog. A still, cold black. Nothing too hard. Light and easy. It rolls around your eyes, blanketing your brain. That's all I ask. You blink. It's gone. The moment is fleeting. We have reached the present. This is the now. I have once felt the tired before. Don't let it get you. We won't. For some, time can stand still. For some, time can fly. For me, it's time to go. That is, time goes. It just goes and goes and goes. Weeks go by. Months go by. Years go by. I can't tell you how long I've been down here. Maybe the rats can. For the most part, things have been quiet. Nothing much has happened. Time has passed without notice. Time passes. Maybe above ground people care. But down here, everything has a place, a time, routine, the hustle, the grinding. At least I wake up when I want. Free is not really ever free. Who says you want to wake up? Somebody pays. There's nobody down here to say anything. Nobody here to listen. Words are funny sometimes. And if nobody laughs, are they still funny? Funny you should say that. People often treat their homes as big closets. I guess that's really all they are. Places for stuff, things. The line became my home, my closet. I had my own little storage spots set up all over the country. Dallas, Los Angeles, Miami, Detroit, New York, etc. Boredom. I can't see the sun. Maintenance has become easy. Another routine. Falling debris clogs the tracks. I've gained muscle by moving large I-beams, other carts, parts of walls, chunks of ceilings. Not so scrawny now. Not like I used to be. Beard makes me look older. I also smoke too much. Boredom. Not much else to do except keep pushing forward. But where is forward in a circle? No start, no end, constant. Did you hear that? I don't know. I'm beginning to think that things are getting weird. Not just down here, but in my head as well. Little things, subtle noises, strange noises, squeals, moans, sometimes distant but close, like in the back of my mind, way back, further, deeper. You'll never get it. Gone. Even the number of rodents seems to be shrinking. Dwindling eyes that can't bear to watch. Time. Some of this debris seems awkward. Like it's not supposed to be there. Like Stonehenge or crop circles. Like they were put there by people. But there's no people. The real question, why? I don't know. They feel otherworldly, not cryptic, but ancient. Like pieces picked up in a tornado, spun around for a few centuries, and spit out wherever. Either way, they're heavy as hell. When I started this search, I saw them as obstacles, straining. Now they feel like breadcrumbs, sighing. Somebody is leading me on. Trap. Further down we go, alone but together, in that we are all alone. Follow I must. For Mark, for James, for the truth or whatever that is or may turn out to be. What fantastical nightmare lies ahead? Thirsty. We'll make a stop. Can't stop. We'll make it quick. So close. I can smell it. The putrid rank fumigating these soulless, life-ridden tunnels, filtering out the weak. I managed to survive. The struggle continues. Somehow. The closest stop will be Milwaukee. Just a few shortcuts. Is it 3 hours? Or 4? Depends where you're at. Why can't I remember? Do you know where you're at? The cart doesn't run like she used to. Things get old. People get old too. I think these tunnels are making you age faster than normal. I need to wash my clothes. Torn. Dirty. You smell. Looks like I was in a war. Or maybe just a long battle. Breathe. Set to cruise. Cigarette light. Speed. Medium-ish. Breathe. Fidgeting. Chair has lost its comfort. The padding is all worn down. Flat. Rest your eyes. I'll replace next stop. You'll replace it next stop. Luxury. I haven't felt comfortable since Mark left. That day. The hand. It. Drifting. He'll find me. Don't get too far. They'll find me. Drifting. They'll find me. Smoke. Everything is still. It's the calm. The calm before the crash. Open. Awake. Metal bending. Smoke. Wide-eyed babbling. Incoherent. Came from the back. The mind reels. Smoke. I don't think we hit anything. Something we passed. Something from the past. Smoke out. I look out the windows. Cold, still, black rushes in the air. Nothing. Stick your head out. Don't do it. Window open. The dark flows in your hair. Around your face. Static electricity. Wet. Not dripping. Moist. Damp. Rush to the back. In the distance, a darker black. A darker black. Rubbing eyes. It's still there. It looks like it's swallowing the cold. It's not black. It's not any color. It's just empty. Devoid. The dark glitters as it approaches, like speckled stars scattered in some unknown symmetry. Gleaming star lines followed by a thunderous rushing. Closer. Nerves shaking. Then it dawns on me. Oh fuck. It's water. To the driver's seat. Fuck. A seal must have broken in one of the tunnel walls. Pressure. Cheap, shitty fat cats in their fucking cutting corners. Fuck. We must be near a river. If it were ocean water, we'd already be dead. Pressure. Maybe it was an ocean. Full speed, Mr. Sulu. That was for Mark. Don't seem to be going much faster. Shit. Come Come on, you fucking cart. The water smells like sewage. It smells like it's growing as it's getting closer. That smell. Eyes wide. What's that? In front of you. Confused, calm. Squinting. What the hell is that? Looks like another cart. We all know that's not possible. Not after all these years. The lights begin bleeding into bulging eyeballs. We're stuck in the middle, between the water and the eyes. Trapped. The water's hand reaches out for us. It pushes the cart forward faster. The dark surrounds us all. Shoes getting wet. Eyes wide. The eyes pulsate. Blink. The rolling death blinks too. Only the eyes don't reopen. A shadow hovers just as you turn to check the water behind you. The crashing waves smother the cart as the world around you fades into obscurity. This battle lost. Click. Light. Smoke. Sigh. Son of a bitch. You sit on a large piece of what used to be your cart, smoking, staring at ruins around you. Your means. Your life. The search has not been called off, just shortly postponed. I can't remember everything. The cart flipped over and slid for what seemed like eternity. Sparks danced like devils at a cross burning. You're staring at her. She's flipped over on her side, like a dead whale. You can hear the cry, the long, screeching death. No hope for this one. If she was a dog, you'd take her out back. I got a gun. Not now. Later. The water had hit like a ton of bricks. The initial crash didn't knock me out. I could feel the cart flip sideways. Time seemed to stop as I floated in that moment. A million minutes spent in a dreamlike state. I'll spare the details. Waking up was a reality check. It usually is. How did I survive? It wanted you to. It wanted me to. Crazy talk. Doesn't mean I'm lying. Sigh. Well, what now? Start walking. Walking? Nothing else we can do. Wait. Looking slowly. Something's not right. Waiting. Slower. Still waiting. Observation. Everything's dry. Bone dry. Eerie. The hell is going on? Where did the water go? If I dreamt the whole thing, then how did my cart get flipped over? No time. Many days to walk in the miles ahead. All rations and water salvageable. Had to sew a makeshift backpack out of some spare army digs. Blends in with my clothes. I look like a hunchback. Anyway, it works. I had a turkey loaf, can of beets, and a smoke. Time to start walking. Your boots are made for it. You no longer feel alone listening to the echo of your own footsteps. Can't believe that's all it takes. You think of girls playing double dutch and open fire hydrants. Summer. the sun. How long's it been since you've seen the sun? The sun hurts my eyes. Lots of things hurt. I'm sensitive. Pupils. The footsteps seem a little off. Out of sync. Off rhythm. Somebody else? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's me. I have my maps. Still lost though. Something catches your eye. Something on the wall ahead. Impossible. There's no way. Yep. Excited. It's graffiti. I'd recognize it anywhere. What's so surprising about that? That smell. Still fresh. It's paint. A tag. It can't be. The way the wet sparkles through the darkest cold. But who? How? You're rushing ahead. Footsteps pound like punches in a boxer's ear. The drum. You stop cold in front of the painted wall. Eyes wide. This is impossible. It can't be. It can't be real. This is one of Mark's tags. You're positive. You'd recognize his work anywhere. But it's not paint. It's blood. Lots of blood. Dripping. I want to cry, but there's no time. He was here. Must have been. I know it. But at the same time, I know it's not possible. We are close. A million thoughts as you stare blankly. Eyes watering. This tag. Mark's tag. It reminds me of something. The cave-in. The bloody cave drawings. The madness in Philadelphia. It floods back to me. I remember. The pictures are definitely similar. The tone. The style. The dark. The picture is a large, laughing devil's face with a train speeding through it. Into it. Many die. It's so dark. The edges look burnt. You feel like an archaeologist. Cave people. You turn around looking for Mark. You feel he's been here. The devil laughs. His eyes aglow with darkness. What have I started? Mark was here. A million thoughts. Just keep walking. I've been walking for hours. Slow. Silence. Getting low on smokes. Haven't seen any rats for a while, but I can feel eyes still staring. Some of the eyes have stopped coming in pairs. A single eye staring itself dry. The tunnels smell different when you're not speeding through it. Moldy. Mildew. Wet. Cover your face. Don't breathe. You already have. I try. My feet weren't ready for this even if my boots were. Too much sitting in the captain's chair. I miss her already. The cart. I drove a cart, remember? No legwork. I can't even hear myself anymore. My movements. They sound distant. Muffled. Not my own. Is someone following me? Sick? You reach for a wall to prop yourself on. It's slimy. Gross. Slick. Sick? Not this time. Breathe. Walk on then. You stare at your hand shining in the dark. A metallic syrup. Slick. It ripples on your skin. Sick? Maybe. Keep walking. The eyes have left, either by their own accord or something unheard by me has scared them off. Paranoia. Do you know what that means? We are alone now, it would seem. A wise man following the star of Bethlehem. The path is lonely and growing worse with the smell. It's everywhere, but when I look for it, it's nowhere. Some things just aren't right. Not here or anywhere. Flashlight? You said emergencies only. I never said that. The light shines on and the beam glides along the walls. More claw marks. Deep grooves. Am I following them? Which direction are they heading? Which direction are you heading? What made them? Fingernails? My God. No, not my God. Maybe a God, but not mine. These marks stretch on, off into space, maybe more. I can't see further than that. Do you know where you are? You start walking again. Footsteps. Your eyes follow the grooves like a needle on a record. They are leading you. The flashlight is pulling you along like a dog on a leash. Beg for it. Good boy. A bloodhound always finds a scent. We've got a runner. Your breathing is ahead of the pace. The earth is a record player. You are the needle spinning. I am the needle. The lines tell their story. You are running. The groove. That smell. The same story repeating. We know that smell. Repeating. The cave-in in Philly. Over and over again. Somehow different. Somehow fresher. Is there no end? As you run, you stumble over your feet, falling flat. The wind knocked out of you. The flashlight rolls off the ground. You meet with angry eyes. Staring. Calm. Yes, their eyes. They're only a few feet in front of you. Eyes. There is no head holding them. Definitely human. That eerie recognition. You turn your head to look behind you. A shoe. I count 3. 2 of them are mine. I tripped on someone else's. You look around. Bodies everywhere. Army. Camouflaged. I count at least 10 of them, and that's just from where I'm laying. Bodies, or rather parts. I try to hold it back, but I can't. You smile a little. Smile. I know we are close. You're quicker than normal to get back on your feet, not scared. Things still feel turned around, not right. I'm looking around to find something, someone, it. I know I won't. You do it anyway. There are no dog tags on any of the bodies. Why? Special force? Or does it collect things? Like a serial killer? A real crazy, heavy artillery? They had no chance, no idea. How'd they get down here? There's no cars, no carts, no wheels. How? What were they doing down here? You have your suspicions. What are you doing down here? A bunch of cowboys. A slight flickering twinkle catches your eye. Even staring directly at it, you almost miss it. Fear is setting in. Sheets of cold sweat slowly forming around you. The light pulses dimly. A crack in the wall. A door of some kind. Secret passage? Must be. I've never seen anything like it. Clever bastards. Why? What were they doing down here? They couldn't have known. Could they? Did they really try to stop it? Something is waiting. Damn, this door is heavy. It inches open. Your head is looking down as you push the door, straining. Bullet casings scatter the floor. You hear the door pushing them out of the way. They saw it. The ones on the outside. Eyes. Radio static permeates the air. A few more inches. You're not that skinny anymore. White beams light patches of ground. Flashlights humming. Static hissing. You're in. You gather the lights and position them to shine throughout the room. No bodies. Lots of blood. Wet, dripping blood. Lots of everything. Guns, bullets, claw marks, fingers, destruction, pain, death. The smell, hissing. You try to get a response on the radios. Nothing. Static. Something causes you to look up. Slow. Calm. What is it? You rub your eyes. The speckled stars wrap over a long black box in the corner of the room. You move toward it. You feel it's cold. I feel. A body huddles over the box. You peel it away. Its insides torn open. How does it make you feel? I am alone. You open the lid to the box like it's the Holy Grail. The body lies still. Inside the crate there's a manual and what looks like a beer keg. Big, fat, round, silver. There is a picture on it. Eyes widened. A symbol. To some there is nothing scarier. The symbol. The apocalyptic yin and yang. Unhealthy looking. Nuclear. It's a nuke. A goddamn nuke. Were they really going to do it? How did they know? They were going to blow it all to hell. This is what it's come down to. Cigarette. 3 hits. Son of a bitch. It knew. Maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe it knew what they were trying to do. But why leave the bomb? Daring someone to try again? Is it testing me? Staring at the nuke, you fall into its silent clutch. My cigarette has long burned out. Eyes heavy. Just an hour. Nothing makes sense. That's all I need, Mark. Just an hour of rest. Nothing. Exhale. Just one. Sleep. Nothing. Eternity. Hours. Days. I opened my eyes. Maybe they were moving the nuke and just happened upon it, or some variation of the story. Conspiracy before breakfast. Cigarette. You can't just set off a nuke. I mean anywhere. They're bad, filled with toxins and poisons and after effects and aftershocks. The price you pay. For what? Happiness. Smoke. Freedom. Exhale. Solitude. Breathe. Amnesty. The flashlights still light the room. Who knows how long I was out? I can only hope it wasn't long. Does it matter how long I sleep? Am I really sleeping? Ever? You feel fresh, new, awake, quick ration to eat, start walking, already have. We started a long time ago. How are you going to get out of here? Where the hell did those soldiers come from? You look back. Need to find a cart. Wheels. Need to move faster. We won't catch anything except a cold death down here like this. The army guys got here somehow. Keep walking. Another hole in the wall. Massive crumbling. You stop. You look around. You follow the trail with your eyes. The fight started here. Cigarette? I just wish it didn't smell. You're on the other side of the rabbit's hole. A long tunnel. Deep. Looks to be maybe a maintenance tunnel. It's on the map, though it's not supposed to be this big. You are here. According to the map, it's only supposed to be a foot wide. It's almost as big as a normal tunnel. You see the lights ahead. They see me. It's not a cart. At least not like my cart. The dilating whites suck you in like the eyes of God. Something cleansing, something innocent. You're not walking. Float on then. Closer. Feel her breathing. The hum. Like a bicycle. No. Like a woman. It is a cart though. Not like mine. Memories. Sometimes they're all we have. This is how the soldiers got down here. They didn't make it very far. It's like a bicycle. The new cart is different, but the same. Beastly. Grizzled. The army wasn't fucking around. It looks like a bullet. Rounder. Solid. Strong. Door opens. Long set of stairs to the cockpit. Full tank of gas. I bet the tank holds enough to go to hell and back. The old cart only held enough to go to hell. No return. One way. Your hands feel at home on the controls. Same buttons, different places. The tracks move below you. A roller coaster. Conductor, unknown. Speed is a building, and you close your eyes as you reach the top. Light-headed, that smell. Faint, open your eyes. The blinding dark. Cold feet? No. You look back. I won't let you down. The black box. I know you won't. The nuke. His fingers crossed. I couldn't just leave it lying around. The cart hits full speed. You turn back around. It's smooth sailing. He asks, do you speed toward the future or away from the past? His legs crossed. I reply, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. The answer is both. That smell, just a bad, bad dream. An invisible cloud of circulating hate, primordial evil. This new cart smells like new cart. Smooth sailing. Your flag waves in the breeze. If it was going to kill me, it would have done it already. Right? Don't look at me. I'm persistent, but I'm not immortal. Sometimes I wanted it to kill me, shredding bodily tissues like confetti streamers. Gratuitous humanity. I'm a believer in an it. This cart runs smooth, casual, reminds me of the old days. First class, a memory of when the line first opened. No erratic noises, just the hum, like an air conditioner. White noise you need to sleep. You feel the cool air. I am awake. The cart is cutting through empty space like a surgeon's scalpel. Precision. The track dividing the world in half. Real and unreal. Not in that order. Not in any order. There is no order. Chaos. The dividing track. You ride the line. Ride on. I always have. You always will. Maybe I will. Maybe. The more things change. Feel the air. You've been holding your breath. Why? Cemetery. Something to do with luck. You will need more than luck. Luck can only take you so far. I got everything I need. Not enough headstones. Mark. Something isn't right. Observe. Wait. Feel. Think. Out the window. We're gaining speed. What does it mean? Feel. It feels like we're being towed. Feels like we're on the back of something very, very big. Composure. Beethoven had it. You look around through the windshield. The black. Can't see anything. You look down to the tracks. There it is. It's coming from underneath the cart. Stretching out. Off into the distance. The black. It looks like a rope of some kind. Your eyes follow this rope out into the distance. I can't see the other end. It looks slack, loose, slick, wet almost. It looks stretchy. You can feel the black moving faster, getting thicker. The thickness only adding to the momentum. Lubrication for lightning. The bolt. A hungering growl. You look up, straight ahead, off in the distance, far ahead of the cart. A far, far cry. You see something. I see it too. It's like a bowling ball in motion. It seems motionless, yet still moving. Still, silently spinning in its dark web. Hypnotic. Dirt and gravel fling against the windshield, against the cold, against the grain. The dust swept into the dark, creating a thick, smokier haze. Oh God, eyes wide, I see it, it, the demon. It almost fills the entire tunnel as it barrels along. My God, running at full speed through the tunnel, lines fill themselves in, the picture now unblurred, eyes wider, the monster. Its feet are like teeth chewing the earth below them, digging, grinding, snarling, like shovels of a gravedigger, the dirt spewing into a mist of raining planet. Man's metal tracks like food for the hogs. Time is slower. A clear breath of clouded air, and then a loud pop. Something small came from the engine, I think. It's enough to cause us to lose speed. You look down, and the stretchy wet rope has snapped. Time runs to normal. The demon chews off into the distance, into the black, further and farther, away. I saw it. I really saw it. You saw it all right. Mark stands over my left shoulder. We all saw it. James over my right. 3 musketeers. It is real. My God. And they all thought I was crazy. Life swirls down the cracks of concrete walls. You're done pissing. You zip up, but your hands still shake, trembling. There are few eyes left watching. Nobody can stand the sight. Nobody watches this part. Carry me with you. Always. What are we gonna do? I'm not doing anything. It was a thing. A big fucking thing. You saw the size of that thing. We can't not do anything. Oh yeah? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. You watch them bicker. Back and forth. Back and forth. Like a pendulum. Nobody's a winner here, babe. I can tell Mark is getting angry. James is just being stubborn. Tired. Old. They're both right in their own way. Aren't we all? Some of us are just more willing to dedicate our lives to false truths. Numbers. It's nice seeing old friends. I smile. You smile. Your hands stop shaking. I said, I'm not doing a damn thing. And there ain't a damn thing you gonna do about it. A pulsing vein thumps itself visible amongst a flushed, perspiring forehead. Anger is growing. Better calm them down with some words of wisdom. Damn near genius. Fuck. Heads turn. The moment of pause brings quick analysis, review, and clarity. What else are we gonna do? Just float up to the surface and forget everything? Well, no. No. Of course not. Light, smoke, breathe. These things will kill you. Can I get one? Funny. I quit smoking so many years ago. One thing the army has plenty of: cigarettes. Surrounded by death. Maybe breathing it makes it easier to do. The children have stopped their bickering. James reads a newspaper he found on the ground. God knows how old it is, or how it even got down here. The clicking. Mark shakes a can of spray paint. Too many questions. Just too many questions. Questions with answers that lead to more questions. Not enough time. Smoke. Breathe. Exhale. Exhausted. Exiled. The can still shaking. Your hands are jittering. James licks a finger, turns a page. It's all old news. The shaking stops. No news is good news. The trembling begins. Smoke. Breathe. Exhale. Mark begins spraying a blood-like color all over the tunnel's wall. I can smell the paint. The smell. It brings back memories. You remember. Even the sound. Smoke. Breathe. Exhale. To some it sounds like the ocean. James licks his finger. Turns the page. Can't say I've ever listened to the ocean. Old news. Exhale. I've been staring, listening. That sound. My ears float adrift on winds and waves. Captain. Yes, sir. We are the bottom feeders. He shakes the can again. Steady she goes. The hissing stopped. A drip from a light above. James licks his finger. I hear it scream. He turns the page. In the distance, the paper slices his skin, cutting his finger. Something is happening. Drip. Old news. Drop. The blood from his finger. Smoke. Breathe. Exhale. The wet dripping plops. The smoke invading your body. It puddles around me. Disgusting. The walls are dripping red. Sounds of spraying grow louder, echoing off the stone and metal walls. The walls are painting with Mark. Back and forth. Together. Bouncing. Exhale. Then there's the dripping. James licks his open finger. The blood from the cut smears on his face like a beat-up hooker's makeup. I haven't moved. Smoke. Breathe. Exhale. Can't. The page rips. Why me? The spraying sound grows and spreads its wings. It's like someone letting the air out of a tire. A picture is bleeding from the walls. Staring. Why is everyone wet? Exhale. I turn to Mark. He moves slow. Too slow. I see each molecule of paint shooting from the can. You're staring. The bubbles. Breathe. A page is turned. The cigarette falls from your lips. Teeth grinding. Exhale. Drip. A snake is slithering through the red river that forms around you. Drip. The wake sending out waves like sonar. Drip. A grain of sand added to the desert. Drop. It could strike me right now. Nobody would know. Drip. I wouldn't bat an eyelash. Blink. Gone. Snakes are falling from Mark's spray can. James licks his finger. He's starting to look like a cannibalistic clown. Eyes tired. The cave-in. The blood rising. Will you wait for me? No rest. Socks wet. The filling pool. My God. Where has it gone? Exhale. There's growth all around us. Life's fluid filling up around us. Paralyzed. A swimming hole for us bottom feeders. Reptiles swimming the demonic backstroke. The devil's beat. Exhale. Breathing helps you feel alive. The sick of it all. Not moving. Death is rising around us. It's soaking your legs. You feel it in your bones. Down your spine. Turn the page. Spray. Lick. Hiss. Turn. The blood is weaving its way into your clothes. Your shirt. We're going under. Your shoulders. Inhale. The blood reaches your eyes. Graveyard. In the black. You dare not breathe it in. Cold. Still. Exhale. You are born. Eyes wide. You're staring at the ground. Face to the ground. Eyes wide. Look around. No Mark. No James the guard. No snakes. No spray cans. And no dripping. At least no more than usual. It's just the cart and a cigarette that burns your finger. What does it all mean? I don't eat. Tossing and turning in this waking sleep. Cry, bleed, dry heave and repeat. Alive, awake, exhale. It wasn't me this time. I know I'm tired. You do? I know I'm crazy. Or at least getting there. Progress. Is that all bad? But I swear it wasn't me. This vision, this hallucination, it wasn't me. This nightmare is not me. Not this time. I cannot be defined, so I'm crazy. This wasn't me. It was something else. Not my crazy. This wasn't my crazy. I know my crazy. I live with it. I am it. Cigarette long since gone. Progress added to the pile. Make it or break it. One day, you'll be added to the pile. One day, we all will. Enough of the small talk. A bunch of chatty Cathys. Too close. We're just too close. Too damn close. It needs to die already. Eyes wide. Kill. You can smell it. I'm sick of smelling it. I've smelled it all my waking life. I'd stop thinking of the smell if it didn't keep changing. They're not big changes, but it's just enough to notice. Just when my nose gets used to it, and I think I can forget, it changes. Ever so slightly. Just enough to start the whole horrific cycle all over again. I hate that fucking smell. Breathe. Time to wake up. Lots to do. Where to start? We've only just begun to live and to sleep. No more. Something like that. The words always get mixed together. I am the Shakespeare. First, need the cart to move faster. It's already fast, but it can go faster. Excess parts need to go. Trim the fat. The radio turns itself on. The music seems alien. So much emotion that I've distanced myself from. Me and my cart. My escape. Time to get dirty. Dirtier. Whatever. Fender. Bumper. Windows. Handles. Panels. Lights. Plugs. Wires. Seats. Shaved my head and ditched the excess food, clothes, and my collection of stones that look like rocks. That was a joke. I too can sometimes smile amidst the rubble and ruins. It takes a couple of hours and a pound of elbow grease. Job done. Well done? Let's not go that far. Did it alone. Nobody helped, but that's okay. I'm used to it. Get used to it. Stepping away from it. I think she looks like a post-apocalyptic tank that Jim Brown would have driven in one of those hokey sci-fi movies he used to do. The 80s. Nobody remembers them as hard as you do. Everybody has moved on. I'm locked in. Steam spurts out of the sides as the pistons pump to save the future. Holes everywhere, one for each prying eye. Let 'em stare. Watch me do my dance. The cart looks like it's ready for a demolition derby. Drivers beware. A killing machine. Death on the tracks. I almost feel for her. She didn't ask for this. To be the one. Don't kill the messenger. Isn't that what they say? In this one, everyone dies. You turn off the cart and listen for any problems as she powers down. No worries. It's for the best. A better place. Evil can't live here no more. Maybe my goals are high, but it's something worth dying for. The eyes don't blink. Keep staring. You might learn something. Just a few things left to do, and we'll be on our way. The future is waiting. Sitting. Sigh. This is what it's come to. Chewing. Sigh. How do you win a war eating this shit? Lick your thumb. Swallow. Turn the page. It doesn't seem that complicated. Sniff. Stab. Sigh. Runny nose. goddamn turkey loaf. Chew. Swallow. I've tried not tasting it. I can't believe they even brought this thing down here. A lot of work with little reward. The taste is everywhere. It surrounds you. Lick your thumb. Turn the page. I mean, I know it's the army, but this thing is idiot-proof. Sniff, stab, chew. Am I getting sick? We are all sick. I can hear my stomach turning to the marrow. You look down. I can see my stomach turning. You see it too? Either it's digesting or it's twisting itself inside out in an attempt to end the pain, the suffering. It knows the peach cobbler is on the way. The on-deck circle. Join the party. Spit, pit, lick, turn page. This nuke. They made it too easy. Hawk. Spit. It took an Einstein to build one, but any Bernie can use one. Turn the page. I swear, I'm getting hungrier with each bite. Such a waste. It's all mostly just warnings about radiation, pages of it, radius of the blast, destination of detonation. They make it sound so smart. Not intelligent, just smart. Remember, Bernie, chew, sigh, technical, bigger sigh, and then you see it, peach fucking cobbler. What utter shit. Maybe that's what makes him so hard. Reminds me of the orphanage. For old time's sake, what makes a man? Button, on, flip switch to arm. They could have saved some paper if they just came out and said that. Maybe that would be too easy. After that, you just push the button and watch the world die, or at least a chunk of it. Don't talk about chunks right now. The cobbler. The eyes daring you on. Stab, chew, stab, chew, chew, stab, chew, chew, chew. Breathe. It's over before you know it, but it lingers. Quick, smoke, light, puff, inhale. I can't believe this. Me either. You're really gonna do it. Smoke, breathe, exhale. They have no idea. I wonder if they'd send another team down now. The army, that is. Maybe send 2 teams. One looking for it, and the other looking for the bomb. They probably know it hasn't detonated. Obvious, I'd think. Smoke, breathe, exhale. They're not that dumb. It is the government. You look at the bomb in the manual. You hope they're not that dumb. It's not their fault. Smoke, breathe, exhale. After a while, people just fall into patterns. They get stuck inside their own fate. I've heard of eyes being called the gateway to the soul. I think they're just windows, nothing more than looking glasses. The eyes surround me. Change is for the optimistic. Smoke, breathe, exhale. You slide the cart door open. You throw out the mini fridge. Inside, a single beer. I was never much for drinking, but they didn't have any big cigars. Domestic. Sigh. I hop down off the cart, beer in one hand, cigarette in another. Inhale. Is there anything more American? Mark reaches his hand out. I hand him the beer. He chugs what's left, as if he had found water in the desert. The can clinks the ground. One day, I'll be ready. I can't believe you're doing this. I don't know what's worse, knowing a lot of people are going to die, or the feeling your stomach gets after a full helping of army rations and a single domestic beer. Gurgle. Oh boy. Mixed feelings. Goddamn cobbler. The cart was ready. Engine ready. I think I'm ready. Who are you kidding? Who am I kidding? I know I'm not ready, but I said it anyway. I'll be positive for a change. Steady purr. Is this right? My hands shake at the controls. This is right, because it is wrong. I can feel James the guard's hand at my shoulder. I turn to him. He smiles and nods softly. A calming reassurance. It's okay to move on. Comfort. I release the brake and the momentum coasts us forward, inch by inch. Mark has fashioned a sort of saddled high chair. It looks like a combination of NASA shuttle chair and lifeguard chair. He fidgets, trying to create a zone of content. He sits high, his head sticking out the roof of the cart. The breeze, like a beach cruise in some cherry red convertible. Stomach grumbles. Oh boy. This was no beach ride. Fuck. The pains are almost louder than the cart. Mark keeps his guard, occasionally spinning around to get a full 360-degree view of nothing. Eyes in the back of my head. His thumb bandaged, James wipes his brow. He is nervous. We are all nervous. The pressure is everywhere. I apply little force to the pedal, and we ride slower and slower toward an ill-fated destiny. This can't be good. You are thinking, it's not where we're going, but rather who we kill when we get there. Our destination will come to us. Fate will find us. How long it takes is not up to us. Slowly. We are merely passengers, riders of the line. Fear is the only thing keeping us going. Fear of not trying. Fear of being afraid. Fear of doing nothing. Fear of being and of other beings. I won't be scared. I'm not scared. You're not scared. Wipe the tear. I won't be scared. You won't scare me from what I must do. My only fear is that I've already died, and this is my purgatory. Riding in circles, looking for answers, finding only evil. This isn't hell. I can think of much worse things. No, hell is further down the spiral. Maybe the last stop. Much worse. Yes, much worse. The repetitiveness is crazy, dizzying. You haven't said that yet. A lot of things go unsaid, but not unheard, unfelt, unseen. Letters unfold themselves before the blind eyes of fate. The seals left unchecked. Truth is often revealed to those who do not seek it. The truth, the one big truth, the it. It doesn't matter. I've already said a lot of things. We're all in this one together. No chickens. Not in front of the eyes. They watch you now. Hope. Remain optimistic, positive. Good things can happen. Dreams can come true. We will find it. A change is going to come. For better or worse, till death do us part. With no sun, time does not exist. It was weeks, then I stopped counting. I fear it's been months. Eyes wide. The truth, maybe half a year. 182 days. Wider. 182 torturous days. Spiraling down. Further and further. The black seeming to get blacker. The dark, darker. Can't sleep. I've tried. There isn't much else to do except try. It won't let me sleep. I know it. You know it. It doesn't want me to sleep. Sleep makes me weak. It wants me strong. It wants a good fight, not something easy. No, easy is too easy. It wants a challenge. It wants a fight. A good, hard fight. Months. Closer. Forever closer. I don't eat. Not hungry. Hunger makes the killing feeling grow. Soon it will sprout arms that shoot to the moon. Haven't been hungry for a while now. Since the cobbler. Prisoners on death rows get better last meals. I still feel it sitting like a rock. Cement shoes. Beard is long. I don't even like peaches. I've had them fresh off the tree. Georgia. Still didn't like. Not a texture issue either. I'm not a pussy. Over my shoulder, the maps seem to have turned against the cause. I've stared holes in them. Staring. Eyes frozen. Map lines gone spiral. Descent doesn't feel like America anymore. Nothing poetic about tangible hell. Feels like a corkscrew turning inward. My cart giving Earth a lobotomy. The core. Eyes wide. The smell has clogged my brain, clouding all trains of thought. It's not a smell anymore. It's a rusty haze that has stained my vision. Yellow-brown, dark orange. Dark goggles keep my eyes from the stinging. Is it me? Or are the tunnels growing smaller, closing in? I don't know anymore. I don't think one is crazy if he knows he's crazy. Should have stopped for casual repairs a long time ago. I'm no doctor. Tank reads full. Faster we ride. Everything's smooth. Crazy. I'm no longer in control. Control. I hold the wheel, but something else is steering. A safety rail on a ride on the amusement park, always holding you back. Someone's amused. Amusing. One of my teeth fell out. Didn't feel it. Just heard it hit the ground. Decay. It's in us all. Staring into nothing. Something deep in the black is reaching for you. I feel my body shift forward, far into the distance. My presence is molded into something small, odd. I have small wings, millions of eyes, the buzzing. To death, I am some sort of fly, a bloodsucker. I can see the cart and its lights coming at me. I am not scared. I can almost see myself. I am fearless. I breathe hard, wings beating faster, faster against the guzzling, empty nothing. You can't catch me. You can't stop me. I will not be stopped. What are you thinking? I am the fear giver. I am godless. The eyes. I am the caregiver and the caretaker. We understand, for we can see. In the distance, the light, two lights, a subway cart. I'm not budging. I will not be moved. You'll have to go through me. I am the fear. I will not budge. Not this time, you motherfucker. Wings beating faster. They slaughter the air around them. Confetti. Eyes wider. Kaleidoscoped lights in a saturated, twinkling heaven. Gaze at thy stars. Marvelous. Closer. The beauty. Closer. Embrace me. Splat. An instant death. Casualty. Continue past the grisly sight. Continue forward and onward. The further I get from sanity, the closer I get to truth. We're close now. Your foot on the pedal. It's been an eternity. It has extended past the floorboards. The tank is completely empty. Been empty a long time now. I've come to believe that the cart was never moving. We were never moving. We were never progressing. It's simple. The world, see, is moving around us. Revolving, if you will. The spiral growing tighter with each curve. Staring, each knot in the noose squealing louder than the one before it. You're gripping the wheel. The bones of my knuckles have pierced through the skin. Tight, flesh broken, eyes wide. There's no blood, only bone. Nothing left coursing through these veins. The life long since drained away. Your foot on the pedal, it extends past the floorboards. Like some futuristic motorcycle. What do you know? You're already dead. The lights of the tunnel circle around you. Fireflies. The world revolving faster and faster. They dance. The tracks shaking the cart. A breath. Trembling. Taste the air. Fresh? Not in the slightest. Like the first whiff when you open a coffin. Inhale. This is it. I can smell it. Exhale. I can feel it. No question. The last dawn. The river's edge. The last tunnel. the it, the final tunnel. There's nothing else beyond this. How long it stretches, I can't say. I've heard the human intestine can stretch to the moon and back. Let's hope it doesn't take that long. You smell it. They smell it. We all smell it. You smile. Nothing fancy. It's hard to do at first. It's definitely forced. But you smile. It's hard to see through these goggles. You look weird. You look like a big baby with goggles. It's a stupid smile. That's what it is. A big, stupid smile. A grin, maybe. Something grim. Somebody somewhere is laughing. The walls are sweating, quivering. Jesus, what a smile. Your foot on the pedal. It extends past the floorboard. The walls are shaking, then cracking. Now the walls are starting to crumble. Eyes wide. Time and space are beginning to open themselves up to you. You are traveling, cross-dimensional vagabond. The tracks shake beneath you, and then, without cause, there are no tracks. The gods watch from their heavens above, eyes wide, the steering wheel no longer connected to anything. It floats in your hands, floating on the winds of an altered desperation. You still hold it, tighter, ever so tighter. The cart shoots through the nothing like a torpedo, like a pinball, like a bullet in the chamber of some long hunting rifle. What do you hunt for? It's close. Kill for. Just ahead. Live for. He ruined everything. Mark, James, me. Our lives gone. Wasted. Probably weren't meant for much anyway, but still, but nothing. The line. Wasted. It. That smell. It's all coming together. The fruits of labor. He's just ahead of you. It'll all be over soon. The damned. Evil incarnate, the eyes, the madness, the line, the graffiti, the orphanage, the friends, the trains, the towns, the cities, the girls, the hip-hop, your smile. Jesus, that smile. Life rushes past in a chaotic frenzy. These bones once filled with reason. Through the ever-evolving nothing, you can see it directly in front of you. Behind you, light races to catch up. Evil tries, but can hide no more. This will be the end. The demon gallops as hard as it can. You're catching up to it, riding the coattails. You grip the wheel tighter. Too much searching to lose it all now. Not gonna lose it. Never again. It's mine. Passengers are free to move around, but those that fall overboard are shit out of luck. This is your captain speaking. The rules have not bound us to this earth. Freedom is the word, the key. We will continue the struggle. We have crossed the line. Let go. Let go of the wheel. You let go of the wheel, just for a second. No more goggles. Some things can't be missed. The black slicks over your pupils. You feel it seeping into your brain. It clouds your vision. Further down into the spinal column. You get used to it. This demon, this it, there it is, just feet from you, magnificent specimen of some nature, not human nature, not cocky enough for our lot. You watch the muscles, staring, they grind away, perfect tail, perfection. Crusted blood dried around the eyes. Small, pinhole eyes. Something this big doesn't need to see. Nothing to see here. It snarls like a wild boar. It's a jungle sometimes. You can see each individual hair on its body. Sharp. Like pins, greased with the blood of innocence, a slicked, icy mane, tail swinging behind him, a demolishing pendulum, syncopated wall smashing, the beat speeding up, you feel it under your rib cage, on your heart, your wings beat faster against the air. You already said that? I know. The cart matches momentum with it. Only for a second. It doubles its speed almost instantly. The fires of hell lit behind him. You and the cart are one. Connected. You fight to keep up. Struggling. Mark joins in. Forcing, then James, fighting. You are all one. With a quick thrust you open the case, the long black coffin. This is it. You stare. You flick the switch. Sanity. The light blinks. Eyes. Not much longer now. Shudder. You have armed the nuke. Shiver. It's ready. Heart racing. Handheld remote. One push. Scary, isn't it? You're ready. Intensity. It bounces around like the electrical fuzz purring off the lights. Static. All noises fade together into a harmonic silence. A cold steel silence. Your hand on the remote. It shakes. Everything you see pushes away, off into a visible infinity. You are a pinhole. Without a sound, the black nothing around you separates. Unfolding like Venetian blinds, beyond the nothing lies everything. The great infinite, time and space unfold themselves before you, the stars reflecting in your eyes. That smile, galaxies dancing within a hand's reach, the it in front of you, trudging through the mystic, the cart following behind, leaving a fiery, smoky trail of gray and white sparks. You're like two asteroids chasing each other. You see the sun, the planets, the moon. Something inside is urging you. You know it. You can feel it. It is time. The remote in your hand. You already pushed the button. Seconds now. Earth. Earth? There's no Earth. You look all around. Everywhere. It's not there. The sun, the planets, the moon. No Earth. The it. You. Smile gone. It hits you all at once. It speeds off into the distance and stops. It starts growing to fill the void of space before rolling over and folding into itself. A large ball. Lightning and energy illuminate from the center, solidifying it as a tangible and life-bearing ball of evil. A masterpiece. You're gonna smash right into it. Your face sags. The stars. The nuke. My God. Earth. Eyes wide. What have I done? Splat. Just another stop on the way to letting God know who we are.